If you want to know what the most important thing in your life should be, it should be to honor the commands of Yahuwah, to do as He has told you, to obey Him. That should be the number one thing on everybody's mind. And it goes in Ecclesiastes, or Koheleth in Hebrew, and Solomon wrote Ecclesiastes. This is during his time of sitting after he's done. He's like, everything is useless in this life, and then he goes on to say there are good things in life. But then we get into Ecclesiastes 12 verse 13. He goes, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Elohim and guard His commandments. This is the whole duty of man. And he says that this is the whole duty of man. This is the conclusion of everything. It should be to follow the commands of Yah. That should be what our work should be, what we should strive towards. And this is the last chapter of this entire book. This is one of the last verses, the last two verses. And if that was that was his last book he wrote, that was the last thing he wrote, was the work of a person should be to follow the commands. Why would he get rid of it? Why would Yah throw it away? He would not throw his laws away after having all these people be exiled for not following them, and having all these sins happen, and them having to go through many trials and have forgiveness and run through it several times, and then have many people write about it and say, this is the most important thing in your entire life, just to throw it away. That's insanity. When you say something's the most important thing, you have a child, you go, this is the most important thing in my life. You just don't throw it away. You just don't neglect it when you say it's the most important thing. You keep that thing. You raise it up. You work hard to make sure it is successful. And it should be the same as our lives with the Torah. We should work on it. We should grow in it. We should make sure we are successful with the Torah. We should make sure we know it by our hearts. And that is what the most important thing we should do. So that, in conclusion, should be our lives. Are we living the Torah? Are we doing as the Torah has told us? Are we living reflections of the Torah? When people see us, they say, man, that person follows the Torah. That person is the person of God. That's the person that is following everything Yah has told him to do. Or are we living like the world? They're like, oh, you're just another human being that is worldly. You live like the world. You go out and worship on Sunday. You go and live like the rest of the pagans do. And that should be our goal, is to live like the Torah. When people see us, when they see our tzitzits, that's how they know we are the commandment keepers. That's how they were supposed to know, because it was a sign to them, and it should also be a sign to other people. Well, Yahushua, he wore tzitzits. He did all these things. And so we must be the living reflections of this thing. This is our duty. This is the duty of men. The whole duty of our lives is to follow the Torah.